Welcome to Brilliant Baking, the show that takes the mystery out of baking and delivers hints and tips straight to your screen.
This week we answer your questions and we're going to convert you all to being vegetarian.
Question 1. If a recipe isn't specific about butter, should you use salted or unsalted? From Mark Adams.
It all depends on what you're making. If you're making something savoury, then you're safe to use salted butter unless it's already got salt in it, in which case either leave out the salt or use unsalted butter.
Yeah, and if you're using a recipe for a sweet like cakes or biscuits, then I would definitely stick to unsalted butter.
Question 2. Should eggs be at room temperature before using in a recipe? From Lydia Carver.
Definitely, yes.
Definitely. Yeah, all your ingredients should be at room temperature. It's the science of baking.
So if you have something hot or something warm and then you add something cold, your bake's not going to be the same.
Last question. I've got a vegetarian friend coming for dinner. What can I make? From Dorothy Bourne.
Well, we're both vegetarian, and although it is a cliche and people think that all we eat is lentils, I'm actually going to show you how to make a delicious lentil quiche. So let's get baking. Okay, going to show you how to make a tasty vegetarian lentil quiche. So I'm going to start by making the filling first. So we're going to make the filling with some chopped leek, some crushed garlic, some lentils, red lentils, and a pinch of thyme. So I'm going to chop some leek first, and then I'll crush the garlic into the pan. So you want it into quite small chunks. Okay, when you've chopped your leek, I'm going to put a knob of butter into the saucepan, and we're going to fry the leek and the garlic until it's nice and soft. Once your leek and garlic are nice and soft, we're going to add the lentils, which have been rinsed and drained, a pint of milk, full fat milk, and a pinch of dry thyme. So you need to let that come to the boil, and once it's come to the boil, turn it down, and then just so it's on a nice simmer. Then we're going to leave the lid on the pan, and we're going to cook it for about 30 minutes whilst we make our pastry base. But while we're making our pastry, just keep your eye on it and give it a stir every now and again. Okay, we're going to make our pastry base now. So we're going to need 250 grams of flour. You can either use plain flour, or what I'm doing today, I'm using half wholemeal flour and half plain flour. So it just gives it a bit more of a healthy kick. So we're going to add our butter first. And we're going to use our fingers to rub it into fine breadcrumbs. So once you've mixed your flour and butter together and you've got some nice fine breadcrumbs, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of water, and we're going to bring the mixture together with a knife, using like a crisscross motion until it starts to clump together and bind together. So once it starts coming together, you want to ditch your knife and just start using your hands to bring it together into a ball of dough. Okay, so once you've got a ball, we're going to roll it out to about 3 millimeters thick. You want it fairly thin. You don't really want thick pastry on a quiche because it should really just melt in your mouth. It's the filling that you want. This is just to hold it in the quiche tin really. So once you've rolled it out to about the size of your quiche tin or dish, you want to lightly grease the tin with some butter, and then we're going to put the pastry into the tin. It is quite fragile, so do it as carefully as you can. If it does rip, it doesn't matter as long as you repair it with an odd bit of pastry. So let's see if we can do it in one. Ta-da! So just ease it round to the edges. Get it in all the nice flutes because that's going to give it a nice pattern. And then you're just going to use a sharp knife and you're just going to take the excess off the edges. Once you've done your pastry case, then we're going to blind bake it. So you'll need some greaseproof paper, which you're just going to pop over the top of your tin or your dish. And then you can either use these ceramic baking beans, which is what I'm going to use today, so we'll tip those on, or you can use rice, dried rice or dried beans. It's just to weight the paper down, and by blind baking it we're going to sort of partially cook the base so that you don't get a soggy bottom, basically, as Mary Berry would say. So just pat those out, make sure they cover the whole of the base. You can trim this paper off as well so that it's a bit more even, and we're going to blind bake that for about 10 minutes until it goes dry but not brown. We don't want it to start cooking too much. I'm just going to take the base out of the oven, so it should be pre-cooked, partially cooked. So just going to let that cool because the baking beans will be really hot, and you just want it dry but not overcooked, and let it cool for a bit and we'll finish off making the filling. Once your filling's ready and it's cooked, it'll be nice and thick, and you're going to add half of your cheese and 2 eggs, and then you're going to mix it all together and it'll be nice and loose, ready to go into your case. Right, we're going to carefully lift out the baking beans. Just grab the paper, pop them to one side, and there's your case all ready for your filling. So we're just going to pour the filling straight into the case, and then we're going to top it with some sliced tomatoes, the rest of your cheese, and then it's going to go into the oven. So that's finished. That's going to bake now for about 30 to 40 minutes at 190 degrees C, and while that cooks we're going to go to an ad break.
Are you looking for quality non-stick baking cases? Well, these silicone cups from Brilliant Baking are the ones for you. They're easy to use and easy to clean, and they are extremely versatile. You can use them for cupcakes, muffins, Yorkshire puddings, desserts, frozen treats, and they are ideal for serving snacks and nuts. And, as an added bonus, if you buy them now, you'll get a free subscription to the Brilliant Baking magazine.
Welcome back. Our quiche is ready, so let's get it out of the oven. There we go, a beautiful golden brown, delicious lentil vegetarian quiche. And that's it for today. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please do get in touch, we'd love to hear from you.
Contact us through Facebook or Twitter, or email us at the usual address. All of the contact details are in the notes below.
Remember to send in your questions for the show, and also any pictures of what you've been baking.
You can find all of our episodes on our Brilliant Baking YouTube channel, so don't forget to subscribe and share. So until next time, here's to your brilliant baking!